my channel. This video is going to be all about brows. I'm going to talk to you all about how I keep my brows maintained and also show you how I fix them with makeup when I feel like I'm wanting to do a really clean cut, maybe more dramatic look. Because honestly, I do not do a lot with my brows as far as makeup goes because as you can see, they're there. Just to put it politely, they are there. I have definitely been made fun of in my days for my brows. Of course, I went through the phase where it was like a little teeny pencil brow because I plucked them to death. But luckily for me, lucky me, they came back nice and strong and they've stayed ever since. But I actually have not had them professionally shaped in years. I was trying to remember when I was thinking about making this video. I literally can't tell you the last time I had them shaped. I honestly think I was in high school. Wow. It's like 7 or 8 years ago. Surely I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyways, my point is, you can keep your brows maintained without doing that as long as you stay on top of it. With that being said though, I do want to add a disclaimer that I am not a brow professional. This is just me telling you what I do. I don't have a certificate on, you know, working at a brow bar or in a spa or anything like that. This is just me telling you what I do. So, about every 2 or 3 days, I do pluck my brows to keep the shape. You know, it's pretty easy to see when they come down here or obviously in the middle. And I just pluck them. Simple. But also every 3 weeks or so, I will cut them and groom them. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that. I actually have already done this brow because this is the second time I filmed this video. The first time I was brushing it off and the top popped off and fell and it took me forever to find it. So I said, you know what, we're just going to redo it. It's fine. So this shows you all what it looks like afterwards. This is no product. This is just my natural brow shaped. And here's what they look like before. You can see they're long, they're scraggly, they're crazy. Sometimes I wake up and I have one sticking straight out and curling and I'm like, why? Just why? So, here is what I do. Have a tool like this, preferably one that doesn't, you know, break every 2 seconds. But it's got this plastic comb on one side and then it's got a brush on the other side. The really important part is the comb. So what I do, oh man, this is so much easier on the other side too. Okay, I brush everything up. Please excuse my hair too. I just kind of fluffed it out of the way. I'm in that horrible stage of growing out your bangs where you just want to wear a ball cap all day. And I don't even like ball caps. Okay, next I take a tiny pair of scissors and I cut. You don't want to go too low. Make sure you're staying where you want your brows to start or else you're going to have some funky hairs that you're going to have to pluck, and you don't really want to pluck a lot downwards. You always want to kind of pluck upwards. Then you can see all the little hairs that I've cut. Brush it off. Pretty simple. Yeah. Then I do the same thing on the bottom. Oh my gosh, I think I have a hair up my nose now. Cool. Okay. This is the part that I really love the results because, I mean, look at that. Look at that. What is that? It's wild. So wild. And I know not everyone has this concern. I would only recommend you do this if you, I think I have a little bit of Italian in me, if you've got a lot of hair on your brows. Okay, so this one, hopefully you all can see, but I'm a little more concerned about doing it right than you all seeing it, to be honest. And sometimes I will even press this down because I notice a lot of these are curly and crazy. Ew, and I don't like that. Just be very, very careful with this, guys. You don't want to do too much. All right. Let's brush them out and see what we got. So I brush up and then down. Boom. See? I mean, it's not perfect. Like I said, I'm not an expert. Okay, so that time the bottom of it fell off. At least I have the important part. And I'm done, so joke's on you, brush. You didn't ruin my video. But yeah, that is how I keep them groomed. Now moving forward with fixing them. I've tried a lot of different things. I've used pomades, I've used pencils, I've used just clear brow gels. And I don't know, I used to be really into the pomade, but I feel like we are kind of moving away from that super defined brow and going more natural, which I love, obviously, because I don't really have to do a lot. But I will say I am not a fan of how my hair is very auburn and my brows are very taupe. Like, they're a soft brown taupe color, and it's not as noticeable now, but it used to be. So when I first colored my hair, I actually want my brows to be a warmer brown. So what I'm gonna do is use a shadow. This is a great trick if you don't do your brows every day and you don't wanna go spend money on some fancy brow wiz or pomade and all that stuff. Try out your eyeshadows. It really can work. Now I will say, if you use a very cheap eyeshadow, it might fall out. And also you can use, where is it? I know I've talked about this eye primer in another video. You can use it, I guess I should actually show you. You can use it in your brows as well to kind of set the stage. If you're going to use a shadow, it will help it stay in there. So you see, it doesn't do anything to them. It's just kind of prepping them. I used a very tiny amount. Okay. So my main purpose of this is just changing my color. I use a brush that's angled and flat, has a little spoolie on the end, and I'm going to use this warmer brown from my Full Exposure Smashbox palette. The palette doesn't really matter, the color doesn't really matter, that's up to you. And I wouldn't stray super far from your natural color because then you're going to be able to tell. But I wanted it to be just a little bit warmer. And I start kind of defining the bottom, and I'm very lightly doing it. When I'm working in stores, I always like to do one brow for the customer and then have them do the other, because it really helps you feel how lightly I'm touching. You don't need to pack on a whole lot of color. So then I move to the top. So kind of defining the bottom and top, and then I'm going to go in and fill everything in. Oh, another thing, your brows should technically start, if you line your pencil here. So mine are about where they need to be. I could do a little bit more in, but I'm not going to. And then your arch should be, when you angle it, it should be right here. And they should end where your eye ends. So I'm going to bring mine out a little bit more, just to give you all a frame of reference of if you don't have a lot of brows, that's how you can shape them. So I am going to create my arch a little bit more. And I want to drag it out more. Now I'm going to go in with what's left. Small, light brush strokes. And then this one, as you can see, I'm flicking it up. And then I'm going to take my spoolie, just kind of blend stuff in. I want this to be very natural. I don't want it to look harsh. Final step, I set mine with a gel just because even when I do groom them, I still have those crazies that try and make an appearance. I'm not super picky on clear brow gel, honestly. I like the Benefit and the Anastasia one, and I have used I don't know if it was Ulta brand or if it was NYX or something that was not prestige. The only thing I didn't like is I felt like they looked wet. but it still got the job done. I do like the brush on this one. It's like a plastic brush. But I brush up and then down on that corner piece. And yeah. So really there's not a huge difference. That's just because I have dramatic brows, but I promise you if you do those steps, you can create a more dramatic brow if you don't already have one. But just to show you the color and shape and definition, it is a bit different. Like, it's just more red. It blends with my hair better, I think. Yeah. That is my brow video. Thank you all for watching. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. I'm trying to put maybe 2 videos a week. That's my plan. Bye.